All right, happy Friday, my friends. Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for the 6th of December, 2019. It is Friday. Friday stands for Freya, Odin's wife, which is Venus. Venus, the day of the lovers, right? Where is Venus right now? Up in Capricorn. Very interesting place for Venus to be because it's about commitment. We're committing to something. We're following our hearts, following our passions, following our desires, and we're committing to create change. At the 13th degree, where it's at right now, it has to do with seeing the writing on the wall, seeing things that are traditions, and what traditions we are keeping, what traditions we are viewing and understanding. There are certain times, there's a certain place and a time for things. And some of these traditions that are carried on necessarily don't make sense in today's world. So it's picking things apart. It's seeing things a little bit differently. What can we bring with us in this new world, and what can we let go of? At the same time, the moon is over in Aries squaring Venus today, right? So the moon's in the middle of degrees. Let me show you the chart real quick. Boom. There we go. Moon at 10 degrees. All right. So what we're doing as well is we're squaring the nodes. So this is at noon. So, this 2 hours earlier, 10 a.m., it's a perfect square to the nodes at 10 a.m. All right. So the moon squaring Venus a little bit later in the day, squaring the nodes. We're caught in the crossroads, also creating that quincunx 5/12 aspect over to Mars. All right. So the moon here in Aries, what's the moon want to do? In this particular case, it's just like, okay, I get it. I've learned the lesson. I want to go. Okay, I get it. I understand tradition. Let's go. Hurry up. Hurry. Let's move through this. Let's create the change and move on. And all of the other energy is like, no. There's no rushing a healing. There's no rushing into these things. We want to feel this. We want to spark our fire. And that's what Aries is good at. Sparking the fire, the ignition. There we go. We got the car started. But it doesn't sustain. Okay. It's the alternator that keeps the car going. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I'm not a huge car guy, but you know what I mean? The ignition's just to start the show. Other elements keep that fire going, So we want to sometimes rush ahead, and we want to feel this now, and sometimes, law of attraction, right? I talk about that a lot here on the show. And it's just like feeling that we've received it before actually receiving it. That's quantum manifestation. I put out a video about that earlier over the summer, maybe the springtime. It was quite a while ago, actually. It might have been like March, the daily playlists, or honest information or something like that. Honest insight, if you look in the playlists over there, about quantum manifestation. Either way, we want to embody this and feel that we're holding on to something, even if it's not there. So if it's a relationship or a job, career, or changing of a house, moving, something like that, we want to experience, we want to feel here in our hearts that we've already received whatever is going on, right? And then we open our eyes and say, okay, where is it? Put it here in my hand, where is it right now? Hurry up. And this is hurry up and wait. That's a film term, we use all the time. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. And it's like, we got to respect the process, So this quincunx that's happening over with Mars is like, look, you're in my territory right now, and I'm also home in my territory. So you got to slow it down. You got to feel this, feel all of this. It's like seeing something in slow motion. And seeing the beauty of that sparking of the match in 2,000 frames a second, something like that, and it's just like, wow, what's an instance, when it's slowed down is this very, very beautiful, whatever that's laid out before us. So this is, in a sense, saying slow down, although we have a tendency right now of energy, of feeling to rush, to get into something. And it is definitely new beginnings, time of new beginnings, right? We also had Jupiter move into Capricorn, so there's definitely a sense of new energy going on. And squaring the nodes, okay? So we're caught between, on one side, saying, hey, we got to be compassionate. We have to care. We have to care about other people. And then on the other side, South Node side, It's saying this is business. Business first. What doesn't make dollars doesn't make sense. And we have to be cutthroat in business. And it's finding a balance in those two, right? Finding a balance in those two today. And again, coming back to that sense of tradition. What do we need to hold on to? What do we need to let go of? If in tradition, this is how it was, it can be cold. It can be cold. And its energy is urging us to find another way to be caring while dealing with these things, while being caring, while communicating, Mercury's still there, moving through its final days of the shadow period. Okay, finally out in 4 days on December 9th. Really exciting. New territory. So it's just like we have the sense of new beginning, yet it's not here in our hand. So it's just like embodying it, feeling it. And as long as we're starting that process, that's what is important right now. And if we're starting this new process, it's important to be the caring. So if we've ended an old relationship and ended an old, a home or again, whatever it may be that's going on in our lives, we're walking towards something that's good for us. We're walking away from something that wasn't good for us. That's the basis of Aries, those primal instincts, childlike, infant. All the baby knows is fingers and toes, going toward what's good, going away from what's bad. And that's essentially what's going on right now. Or what's not necessarily bad, but bad for us during this time. So when we're walking away from that thing, or when we're changing what's tradition, it's important for us to not say, oh, that's stupid, or this, there's no place for this in this new world that we're creating. It's just like, well, our ancestors or predecessors had created something for us that was necessary for a time. And those times are changing, So as we change with it, to be, again, compassionate in our nature is very, very important during this time. To be grateful for the old job before starting this new one. Not like, oh, I hated the old boss, I hated the old job, or I whatever it may be, to still look back at that, to look back at the tradition that we're changing, to look back at the thing that we're walking away from with gratitude and an open heart. That's part of this being caught in the crossroads of the moon squaring the nodes and the moon squaring Venus. Mars saying like, look, I'm taking my sweet time moving through the shadow period. Don't try to rush this process. Don't try to rush it and think that you felt and learned and done all the work, because you haven't, or there's still a little bit more to do. And that's going to come up even more early in the morning on Saturday. Okay, as it's going to start to square Saturn, square Pluto before making its way out of Aries. So what starts today on Friday is really going to come into a full illumination on Tuesday, on Saturday. That's our day. That's our Friday, Day of the Lovers. So it's loving finding looking at the old tradition and finding a new way to spin it. A new way to spin it that makes sense for the world that we live in right now, and that makes sense for all of us, to be caring for everybody, to be empathetic to others' needs, even if we don't see eye to eye. Very, very important. As always, it's a beautiful day. Lots going on in the world. I hope you have a very beautiful Friday leading into this weekend. Exciting times around the corner, but enjoy every step of it. It's not what's around the bend, it's about the journey getting through it, right? We'll see you tomorrow.